Hi guys, this is Binibining Maraket and we are now on the step 5 of building your solid financial foundation with the help of the No-Nonsense Personal Finance book by Step-by-Step Guide by Coach Randall Johnson. So before I will start, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell para ma-update kayo sa mga future vlogs ko. So we are now on the step 5. So investing for your future as a step 5. In life, there are two ifs in life. So I have this word, spelling of life, L-I-F-E. If you will see in the middle, there is the word if. So step 4, I have mentioned last time, what if you die too soon? So the answer is, you have to be protected by life insurance. So getting protected from life's risks. But what if you die too soon? So the answer answer for that is to be protected. So, pag namatay tayo ng biglaan, hindi natin inland, God forbids, protected tayo. Our family, our dependents can enjoy life, can finish their education. As I mentioned, your coverage, like for me, based on my analysis every year since may inflation, nag-i-increase yung cost of living, then 3 yung anak ko, I calculated already how much they need up to college. So I got 4 insurances, as I mentioned to you, that will cover the whole schooling and up to college plus their family rider or allowance income pag nawala ako. So now, the other if of life, the ifs of life is, what if you live long? You live too long. So, ano naman yung sa future? How will you beat the inflation rate? How will you beat the taxes, the increasing cost of living? So, this is the step 5. Getting ready for the future or investing for your future. So, may mga elemento sa investment. So, as a step 5, the first 3, yung analyzing your cash flow, getting out of debt, and building your emergency fund, that's really basic and very challenging. The step 4 is getting insured, is another protection for you. Now, itong step 5, disclaimer lang, step 5, having an investment or entering into investment to prepare your future, wag tayong papasok kung negative tayo, 'di ba? Kung wala naman tayong disposable income. So, paano mo malalaman yan kung meron kang pang-invest? Of course, by checking your cash flow. Back to basic again. Write your income, your expenses, then magkano natitira. So, itong i-share ko po sa inyo, may personal experiences again na sana makatulong po sa inyo. So, yun. So, first thing that you have to check is, bago ka pumasok sa any investment, is kung kaya mo ba, kung meron ka bang disposable income na pwede mong magamit for investment. So, yan ang tatanong nyo. So, kung negative naman, so, pwedeng i-prepare nyo pag nagkaroon kayo for future, or like ako, negative ako ngayon, pero ang alam ko by 2023, I could start another investment. Kasi may mga initial investments na ako. So, pag wala naman, how will you prepare for your future is increase your cash flow. Do not depend on single income. Do some extra income that would result to a cash flow na pwede nyo magamit for investment. So, that's the first thing. Second thing, never enter to any investment without knowing, without doing a due diligence, without, studying the investment. No yan sa pagdating sa investments. Kasi, well, naririnig naman natin, marami ang naloloko, nai-scam. Kasi, 2 things, pardon me for the words, but reality check. Yung iba gusto mabilis na, yung mabilis na income, yung pagiging greedy na mabilis, malaki ang kita. Then, pangalawa is due to ignorance. So, greed and ignorance resulted to scam, resulted to loss of money. So, kaya nga, dapat, malaman natin, we have to invest in education. We have to educate ourselves. We have to empower ourselves. We have to know the different instruments of investments before you get into it. Sabi rin ni Coach Randall, pag-isipan mo ng 3, 4, 5 beses bago ka pumasok for any investments. Hindi yan yung tipong, ay si ganito meron, ay si ganyan meron, so papasok na rin ako. Because there is no investments that fits for all. For me, nabanggit ko na, I have only 3 investments. I have a real estate, which is a land and a condo. Then I have my VUL, dalawa, that is preparing for retirement and preparing for, yan, naging emergency fund ko nga, as I've mentioned recently, dahil sa nangyaring pandemic. And then, I have long-term healthcare. So, yun yung dalawang investments ko. Plus, I have my MP2. So, I'll discuss later on those things. So, yun. Once you already check if you're able, you have to invest, kahit ano pa yan, the first is, that's the first thing. If you can, find some different instruments to have the investments. So normally bank ang nasa una, pero ang bank, as I've said, will only give us 1% interest, o wala pa nga per month, diba, or per annum. And then another thing is never invest into something na hindi nyo naiintindihan. So kailangan aralin natin. So, ano ba yung mga factors to consider when entering into investment? So, may proseso tayo dyan. First, you have to check the time frame, yung time. Ay, first pala yung investment goals nyo. Ano ba yung goals nyo for entering into investment? Sa akin, right now, I'm now in the middle age group, 40. So, ang investment goals ko na talaga ngayon is preparing, of course, for the educational fund of my 3 kids. Then, second is for my retirement. So, ayun, naka-definite na yan. So, what do I have right now? So, minention ko dun sa retirement analysis ko as dun sa pagpa-planning ng personal finance. I'm now at the age of 40. So, hopefully at age of 60, makapag-retire na. So, I have remaining 20 years to prepare for the investment na mahaba-haba pa yun, 20 years. Para dun sa educational fund, dun 3, and sa retirement fund ko. So, by doing that investment goals mo, by having that clarity, aalamin mo na next kung ano ba yung pwede sa'yo within that time frame. So, that's first thing, your investment goals. Second, yung time frame, yun nga, yung sinasabi ko, kung mahaba pa ba o hindi na. So, for me, 20 years, I could still go with a long-term investment of 10 years, even 15 years. So, yun, kung medyo 50 and up ka na, so hindi ka na pwede dun sa mga investment na may yield or tied up ka ng 10 years. So, 55, 5 years, ganyan, okay na. So, the third thing that you have to check is your risk tolerance. So, the risk tolerance, kasi every investment has a risk. There's no 100% risk-free investments. Walang ganon. So, ang pwede nyo lang gawin is to study more, to learn more, para masasabi mo talaga na alam mo kung ano yung investments na meron ka. So, for me, as I've said, very traditional lang yung investment ko. Real estate, na nag-appreciate yung land, yung value, depending on the area, but most of them nag-appreciate talaga. I have my variable universal life insurance, the VUL with MetLife and with Zurich, a protection, at the same time with an investment yield na 8% per annum na I could use it either for retirement kung hindi ko naman siya magagamit. So, yun yung mga investments ko. And then, the risk tolerance, may risk doon kasi depende sa galaw ng market. So, sa risk tolerance, we have 3 types na tinatawag. So, they call it conservative, moderate, and aggressive. So, ang conservative, ito yung mga typical sa bangko, yung mga 1% to 2% happy na sila sa mga bonds, mga ganyan. So, actually, may isang book si Coach Randall, ayan, para mas malaman nyo, yung Build Your Future Today. Dito, i-discuss yung lahat ng different instruments of investments when it comes to personal finance, and napakaganda niya. So, after nyong bumili ng no-nonsense personal finance, ito yung i-next nyo. So, I will also have a vlog for each of them based sa understanding ko and based dun sa experiences ko. So, yun. So, yung risk tolerance, as I've said, you have to identify kung ano ka. So, ano ba yung normally ang conservative? Yun nga, yung sa bank, sa mga bonds, yung secured, yung guaranteed na 1 to 4%. Ayan, yan yung mga conservative. So, moderate naman, ito yung above 6 to 8%, I could say, to 10% return. Then, aggressive, ayan na yung 12% and up to 20%. So, yan yung mga stock market, yung talagang dapat aralin mo yung technicalities and yung galaw ng market. So, for me, I considered myself as a moderate risk-taker investor. So, dun ako sa moderate. Another thing when it comes to investment is yung alamin nyo yung yung instrument vehicle ng investment that will fight the inflation rate. Kasi inflation rate is very important when considering in any investment. So, ano ba yung inflation rate? So, in a layman's terms, inflation is the loss of your money's purchasing power. So, ang average siya when we're doing the analysis for personal finance, we always put 5% inflation rate yearly. Ngayon mababa due to pandemic, minsan 4, minsan 3, it could high as to even 6, and then now average is 5%. So, yung inflation rate, kailangan, pag mag-invest ka, dapat mas mataas sa inflation rate yung kukuhanin natin. Kaya ako, moderate ako. Example, MP2. MP2 right now giving 7% guaranteed and lock up of 5 years. So, okay na yun sa akin kasi moderate ako that it will fight the inflation rate of 5% or even kung mag 6% siya, may 1% na natitira. So, yun yung mga factors when it comes to investment. By knowing your goals, by taking how many years yung gusto mo pa or allowed ka pa to work to start that investment, then yung risk tolerance nyo. So, there are different factors din na nakaka-affect sa investment. So, first, of course, yung money. Yung amount of money na i-start mo sa investment. As I've said, don't start any investment until wala kang magandang cash flow. Kuhanin mo dapat yun sa disposable income, hindi dun sa gipit ka na nga, papasok ka pa sa investment. That is not a good practice. Kasi pag ganun, yun yung tinatawag na, if you don't control your money, making more will not help you. So, dapat talaga maayos yung step 1, 2, 3 mo, or okay lang na may utang, basta meron kang something na disposable and then pwede mong paikutin. So, then, another factor is the time nga, kung ilang taon pa, then the inflation, the rate of interest, that is very important. So, sa rate of interest, meron dito tinatawag na how money works. So, alam niyo ba yung rule of 72? So, ni Albert Einstein. Rule of 72, a very basic example is, kung ang investment yield niya, let's say MP2, let's say ang MP2 nagbibigay ng 10% interest per month. 72 divided by 10 is like every 6 years. Let's just make a computation. So, let's say, let's say na lang sa 12% for example. So, 72 divided by 12% is equivalent to 6. So, magdo-double ang money na ininvest nyo every 6 years. So, diba, ang laki, yun yung nagdo-double. Let's say you put 100,000 right now. After 6 years, let's say 2020, 2026, yung 100,000 mo na yan, magiging 200,000. Tapos, pag hindi mo yan pinull out another 6 years, let's say 2026, 2032, yung 200 magiging 400,000. So that is how money works, and that is the power of rule of 72. I will have another discussion of some more examples on rule of 72. But the reason why I have mentioned this because it will affect the investment, your investment according to your goals, depende yan sa vehicles of instruments of investment yields na pipiliin nyo. That's why I told you, you have to study, you have to empower yourself and alamin kung ano ba talaga yung goal mo, ilang years pa, then anong interest rates, kung anong value man yan, ang ini-aim mo for that investment. So, that is, lumalabas dyan yung rule of 72, how money works for you. Imagine you're just putting 100,000, then dun ka sa 12%, ano ba yung mga yon? Example, equity funds. For now, lahat ng mga, of course, investment exceptional dahil pandemic ngayon, but normally 12% sa equity funds, even could high as to 14, considered aggressive na yan yun, it could give you a return. Kung hindi naman, let's say doon ka sa normal, 4%, let's say sa mga bonds, so 4%, 72 divided by 4 is 18, so every 18 years naman nagdo-double. So see the difference, yung isa every 6 years, yung isa every 18 years. So, syempre, kung may time ka, and then inaaral mo, then you have money to start, doon ka sa mas malaking interest yield. And at the same time, may time frame ka pa, mas lalaki yung pera mo. Diyan pumapasok ngayon yung interest yield sa VUL, sa Variable Universal Insurance, which is, for example, yung MetLife ko, it's a 10-year plan, insured ako ng $200,000, then may investment yield siya. Every month, I'm paying $300 or 1,100 dirhams. So, that's why in 7 years, nagkaroon siya ng value almost 1.5 million. So, na-withdraw ko yung 1 million, ginamit kong emergency fund since 2017, na-withdraw ko siya. So, doon sila kumukuha ng, doon nila nilalagay din yung pera, tinitrade, nilalagay sa mutual funds or UITF, yan. Kaya yung tinatawag na investment na protection plus with investment side, yung VUL. So, that's why I love VUL. Honestly, that's why I have to. Kasi I can use it as protection nga. At the same time, pag kunyari, buhay pa ako, diba? Malakas pa ako. I-stay ko lang yung money doon. Tapos nagdo-double yung money. So, diba? So, I could use it for my retirement. So, kaya dalawa yung VUL ko. So, yun yung tatlong factors na kailangan din natin i-consider. Yung money that you will put, the interest rates, and then the time, kung ilang taon pa. Then, dapat yung investment mo should beat the inflation rate saka yung taxes. Yun naman yung dalawang negative when it comes to investment. So, sa experience ko, as I've said, we had this experience sa critical illness ng kapatid ko. So, ang nangyari, since walang insurance yung kapatid ko, personal insurance niya. So, ang nangyari, yung dapat funds na meron siya, kinukuha dun sa assets or sa pera na hindi dapat doon. So, normally, kaya ginagawa namin tong education when it comes to building your solid financial foundation. Dapat kasi, as much as possible, Filipinos o lahat ng tao, they should know na dapat talaga may protection. At the same time, they should know where to put their money and how money works. Hindi lang yung puro trabaho and then karamihan OFW uwi after 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, tapos walang naipon kasi kulang sa financial education. Now, I'm gonna share with you one mistake na ginawa ko when it comes to investment. That happened recently. So, 2018, I got a commission, and then 2019, I took these 2 condominium units. So, one in SMDC and one in Vista. Of course, wala naman nakakaalam na that is 2019, beginning of 2019 when I took that. Hindi ako nag-check nung cash flow ko. Basta alam ko kaya kong bayaran with my previous salary. So, hindi ko ma-expect na pagdating ng August, mababawasan. Then, ngayon din, nababawasan. So, ang nangyari is, 2 sabay, so hindi na kinaya. So, yung binayad ko sa SMDC, I just decided really, prior pa rin dun sa COVID, na i-give off na siya. So, parang lessons learned or tuition fee for wrong entering to an investment na hindi ka ready. So, ngayon, parang considered ko na siya na tuition fee na I paid almost 300,000 and actually pinasabi na pa-condo pasalo ko siya. I'm still looking na mapasalo siya, pero at my situation right now, hindi ko na kaya siyang i-continue. So, I inform already that I'm looking for somebody who will continue that. Now, yun yung mga mali. Kasi minsan na-attract lang tayo, investment, ang mura lang, pre-selling, 10,000 monthly. The good thing about it is that at least yung binayad ko doon, hindi yun galing sa cash flow ko. I'm into some passive income that gives me 10,000 average monthly. So, dun ko pinupuna, dun ko kinukuha yung pinanghulog ko doon. It's around 11,000 monthly . So, plus yung commission ko na nakuha last 2018, 2019, nag-start na ako. So, almost 2 years ako nagbayad. But again, hindi kinaya dahil na rin sa pandemic, ang daming gastusin, salary went down, na-decrease, pero yung expenses nandun pa rin. So, I have to give up. So, ito yung lessons learned. When you enter into any investment, dapat pa isa-isa lang, hindi sabay-sabay. Yun yung medyo mali ko rin. Pinagsabay ko and naka-apekto talaga. So, sana sa mga nanonood, isa-isa lang, one day at a time. Kasi ako yung tipong minsan sobrang positive din. Hindi rin nakakatulong. Although I know that I could do, kaya lang medyo malaki yung nabawas dun sa active income ko. Sa passive income, I know I can do more. But still, it affects dahil sa nangyaring recession. So, yun lang. So, again, when it comes to investments, never enter into something that you do not know. make a due diligence, research, and so on sa company. And sa akin nga, as I've said, I'm a moderate investor. So I do have MP2, which is, it's from the government, sa Pag-ibig, that gives 7% to 8% per annum. Yan, kinuha ko yan for the educational fund naman ni Benjamin. So it's like Benjamin account. Then hopefully, pag nag-okay, after 2023, after I clear all my debts, I could start some more investment. And as I've said, I have VUL, which is there's an insurance and investment side to VUL. Then I have term insurance. Then I do have my real estate. So I'm keeping right now our property in Laguna, which is renting 4,000 pesos per month. And then I have the condo from Vistaland, so which is the one that I will keep, and yung SNDC yung ginib ko. So yun, so guys, again, this step is to prepare your future, to prepare what if you live long. So how would you beat the inflation rate, the high cost of living? So we have to be very careful, we have to be educated, and we have to be very careful sa mga decisions natin. And how it would be a great decision, let us involve God every time we make a decision, whether it's financially, of course, spiritually, and so on. Always ask God's wisdom and help na tulungan tayo. So our Bible verse for today is from Proverbs 21 verse 5. The plans of a diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Again, Proverbs 21 verse 5, the plans of a diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. So, ayun guys, never enter into any investments. Check your investment goals, yung time frame, your risk tolerance. Do the computation of your cash flow if you have disposable income, and most of all, ask God's wisdom, seek your mentor, do the coach, seek some professionals and get some advice before you enter into any investment. So as I've said, yung nangyari sa akin, I consider it as a tuition fee. Never enter into any investment na sabay-sabay. Dapat talaga isa-isa lang. So, also rin, lagi niyo tatandaan, the higher the interest yield return, the higher the risk. So, the lower the yield, the lower the risk. So, depende yan. So, no investments that fits all. Kung ano yung bagay sa inyo, aralin nyo bago tayo pumasok. And then, marami rin mga books, as I've said, by reading this book, you can go for buying the book of Coach Randall, Build Your Future Today. Nandun yung lahat ng detailed information kung ano bang bagay sa edad mo, sa personality mo, sa behavior mo, sa risk tolerance mo. It could help. It's gonna be a life-changing, guys. Itong book na diniscuss ko from step 1 to step 5, these are all guidance. Guide natin to. So, but pag inumpisahan natin, I know and I believe 100% it's gonna be a life-changing. So, siguro yung mga nakapanood from step 1 now to step 5, it's gonna be my fulfillment kung yung iba nag-start ng mag-write down ng kanilang expenses, liabilities, and cash flow. That's the start of it. So, congratulations to those who started doing the art of writing. Kasi dyan nag-start lahat. Kapag na-monitor mo na yung finances mo, yung income mo, minus expenses, and then your cash flow, dyan na mag-start. That's the basic foundation. Getting, preparing your cash flow, analyzing your cash flow. And again, knowing, if you don't know how to control your finances, your own money, making more won't help. So, go back to basics talaga. So, ito pong na-discuss ko, I hope from step 1 to step 5, improving cash flow, getting out of debt, building up your emergency funds, getting protected from life's risks, and investing for your future. I hope may maitulong po sa inyo. At dun sa mga tao po na gustong magpa-personal finance check-up sa akin, as I've said, I'll be here. It's my advocacy to help you guys. You can send me a message. I'm in Facebook, and I'm also available in Zoom meetings if you want. And then sa mga next vlogs ko, I'm gonna discuss some of the investments that I have tried and give you some insights about it. So thank you very much, and once again, God bless, and don't forget the No Nonsense Personal Finance by Coach Randall. Thank you everyone, and God bless.